All right, what's up, YouTube? Figured I'd do some 15-second scalping for you guys. Show you what I'm looking at whenever I'm scalping on the 15-second. I came back from lunch, I had a coffee, sat back down. I'm going to trade a 150 on Topstep using the 15-second, 1 minute, 3 minute. So we got the 1 minute, got the 3 minute. I am keeping track of where we're at on the 1 hour, 4 hour, all the higher time frames, 15 minute on the charts above me and on the side. But currently looks like we are rejecting initial balance high. And we've been sliding like crazy. What is this? So basically 300 points up, 300 points down, 300 points up. So we've moved 900 points in the first few hours of trading. So basically an hour of pumps, hour of dumps, hour of pumps. A 60-minute chart. We just up, down, up. All right, so let me get this up here. Let me get my chart squared away. And I'll kind of walk through a few things, what I'm looking for. Make sure I like to come in and kind of delete some stuff, after lunch. Start with a clean slate. This one still looks valid though. We got close. So I just like to mark out these zones. We had a close. Let me explain it. So we got this high, but then we closed above the high. Okay, so that's a swing point for me. And then we have this low right here. This high made this low. We closed up there, but then we closed below this low right here. All right, so what I do is I take that low and the high that it made. So this low here and the high that it made, make a zone. I also use this fib tool, AP Trades. If you go check them out on YouTube, this is a GB. So basically you have a roughly 75% retracement would be this area. So let's get that marked. What's that number? Move this over slightly. It doesn't have to be exact, but I like to get it exact. So what are we looking for when we get to these levels? Well, typically, when we get to here, we're looking for a retracement back down. But we need to make sure we have higher time frame in alignment with what we're doing. And currently, we are in chop. I think we took out this low when I was eating. This could be a longer video. I'm not 100% sure how long this is going to be or how long I'll sit here. But we will take some scalps if they present themselves. So what I'm going to be doing is we've got a lot of movement. I'll do 3 minis. I'm going to scalp out of 2 of them and leave a runner. That's my plan. It'll be a hard stop at $1,000 loss. And I'll be quick to move to break even, given the right circumstance. So I'm not going to go too deep into like this GB level. There's no reason for me to. Just go search AP Trades on YouTube, and he's got his extensive explanation. So you want to check it out, go check it out. If not, all Gucci. This is ES on a 2000 tick chart. That's what I use for ES. Nasdaq, I trade every time frame on Nasdaq. It just depends on what I'm looking to grab. I mean, yesterday I grabbed a 200-point short. I'll probably make a video about that, give detailed explanations of what made me get in the trade, what made me hold. But I just wanted to do some live scalping, live recordings here. So being careful in chop, making sure that I'm not going to get chopped up, buying highs, selling lows. Looking for some kind of clear, as clear as possible, read on where price could possibly go to. So obviously I would like to see if we could come back down to this area we left behind. But we took out the high. So now we may not get as deep a retracement, but given the market state, we just went over that. We are just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it get a lot deeper more deep than I'm expecting. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here from ES and NQ, but I just want to make sure that ES doesn't sweep the lows and go back to the high. And the reason I'm referencing ES is because they're basically mirroring each other right now. It's pretty close. It's possible too, and this wouldn't affect my scalp other than I wouldn't catch a huge runner, would be kind of a fake out to the downside, possibly taking out this low and then bouncing, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this. And when you're looking at the 15-second, I think key is, you saw how we had that fast printing candle. You can't make that want you to get into a trade. You've really gotta be calm, collect. Gotta know what you're looking for. I'm looking for this. A confirmation for me to go short would be a close here. And I'd like to see us pull back and take out these little highs right here. That's what I'd like to see to go short. Let's see what the 3 minute looks like. Yep, exactly. See if we can get it. Again, gotta be cautious. You don't necessarily want to be, selling at the low of this little trend we've got, or not trend, but range. for anybody that watches this video, I think it's going to be helpful in the sense that it will show you how much patience it takes to find precision entries. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to win every trade. I may get stopped out on the very first trade we take, but being very patient and not just jumping in, especially in this market where you can get whipsawed 40, 50 points in a couple candles. So be very diligent with your stop loss. Be very diligent with what you want to see prior to getting into a trade. Make sure that everything aligns before you jump in. Okay, so I'm gonna monitor. I'm obviously monitoring both, but I want to see how we react off of. We kind of had a little look above this range. Now we're getting a look below. We'll see if it holds. It's kind of looking rolly, but sometimes it looks rolly right before it pops the high, so you got to be careful. So let's look at some downside targets besides this one. I think this would be a good place to target. And then you could get a lot more movement past that if we can close below this range. Or this area, not range. Again, you may think, oh crap, I'm missing the move, and you might miss the move, but it's best to be on the sidelines and not in a trade that you wish you were not in than, well, I don't know if I said that right. It's better to not be in a trade that you wish you were not in than it's better to not be in a trade that you wish you were not in than to get involved too early. And it's better to miss a trade than to be stuck in a trade. So it's better to miss it than to be in it and wish you weren't in it. Y'all bear with me. So let's see if we get a pullback. So remember what I said that could happen here at this low. We could take it out and then see just a blast off. So why are we not trading that? Because I'm not longing at the top of a range. Everybody that had a buy above initial balance thinking we were about to just go to the moon got slapped. And they probably had their stop right below this low. Let's see if they get whipsawed out. So because they get stopped, let's see if they are eager to jump in longs. And then big money step in. One thing that you want to remember is, I didn't come up with anything I say. It's all stuff I've learned, right? Most breakouts of ranges will fail. So most of the time you're looking for a breakout, it's going to fail, and it's going to return back into the range. Take ES right here, for example. We've got this range. All right. Made a range here, tried to break out, failed. Came back, tried to break out, failed. Came down, false breakout. We'll probably take out the highs now. Like I said, don't know how long this video is going to be. If I don't take a trade, I'm probably not going to upload this, but if I do take a trade, I will upload it and see if it's something you guys like. It's just me rambling on about what I'm seeing in price currently. It could help you, could not. And even in these smaller ranges, if you go watch AP's GB video, you can see these levels play out as well. So we got this leg. Something also to look for is double moves. Here's a move, and then you have almost an equal second impulse down. Did not take the high. Got to the high on ES, got to the high of the range. That is in the overall larger range. So we've got ranges inside of ranges that are inside of ranges. And this is what I'm looking for. All right, so here we go. This is going to be the move. So sell limit, I'm going to sell 3. And again, being careful not to get caught at the bottom of the range. kind of want to go long, to be honest with you. I know I've been talking about not going long at the top of this range. But if we fail to break down, chance we could pop it. But I'm going to stay short bias for the moment on my scalps. All right, I'm going to get that buy off of there. So why this area? You might ask, why do I have a box here on this area? And the box really could extend to here. But like this is the area that we created a little bit of movement and then popped, right? So if there are any buyers that are left, the first stage of them would be sitting right here. Now, these buyers could be just taking profit, which is selling the market down, and then they hop back in again in the same spot. So the closer we get to this, the more I could take a long scalp. Again, most breakouts fail. This one, this one, this one, this one. Let's see if we get a failed breakout or if we get a retest and a continuation lower. Okay, I'm going to buy stop 80. I'm looking for about 15 points, so we would be looking for something like this. Got a retest of 24,900. Like I said, I'll be moving break even pretty quick. Just giving it a chance to pop down a little bit. Create a little wick right there. Now when you see on the 15-second, you see candles jumping up, you know you got some buyers involved. So Now, why didn't I keep a runner? Well, we could probably see something like this. Again, like I said, if this is the true breakout, we will see a retest and breakdown continuation. So I don't want to give up anything that I've got in the bank on, crossing my fingers that we take the high. We're scalping. So if this is another, I'm looking at ES over here. If this is another failed breakout, and the reason I love to use ES is because it's very easy to identify, for me personally, to identify ranges on ES. So I like to keep it up. And it's easy to identify trends as well. All right, so we got one scalp in the bag, roughly $1,000. And you saw me grab my stop pretty quick because this is the move I'm looking for. I'm looking for a quick impulse up. If we don't get that, I want to be out as quick as possible. And this is exactly what I said could happen. We get that up there, and then that's the retest, and then we get the full breakdown. Make sure I don't have any orders sitting on the chart. I've been known to do that. So 2 scenarios is, number one, this is kind of like a false breakout up here, obviously on the higher time frame, the hour chart or whatever. You got a false breakout, and then you've got, so this is scenario one, an impulse down to trap sellers thinking we're going back to the low. And when they trap them, that's what's going to give us a lot of speed to the upside. The other scenario is we got a buttload of sellers up here, and they're going to push it down, and then they're going to allow some of these buyers to push it up a little bit, and then at some point they are going to just slam it. I don't care what they do. All I care about is identifying what the possible scenario is and making sure that I'm on the right side of that. It's kind of looking like the sellers are going to win. All right, let's go to the 3 minute. See what we got. Just a bunch of failed closes up here. Get this off. That's not valid. Okay, so what I'm looking for, if we get a close like I was talking about earlier, if we get a close below this zone, get a close below, doesn't have to be far, but a close below, and then a quick retest for us to continue down. If I don't see something in this area to go short, that's where I'm looking to get short from, is this. Well, retest of this to continue. I'm going to pause the video. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab some more water. All right, back. All right, we're holding this. Another thing with scalping is you got to be quick to adapt, very quick to adapt. Can't get married to a bias, can't get married to a direction. You got to get your plan, have some areas where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to long, this is where I'm going to short. If we fail this area, what do I do? So I figured, and I talked about it a few minutes before it happened, if we get a bounce or a tap to this spot, I would be looking for a retrace. And I said it with the mindset of we're in a short from up in here, which we didn't get because it just kept pumping. But if we got in short in this area, looking to make sure we definitely trim off here, because this could happen. Or if you're holding your runner, don't necessarily hold your runner without taking some profit on it and trailing it once we got here, because we could bounce. So with scalping, it's not like a one and done all the time. Scalping, I may take 3 or 4 scalps if I'm reading the market correctly. If not, and you lose one, I'm pretty much done. Because I should not lose too many of these when I'm reading price correctly. Why didn't I let it on? Limit sell 3. All right, we in. Stop is going to be pretty close. Let's see, that's 700 and 600. Definitely don't want it to get too much higher than this. And we should see a quick flush. So I'm going to move my stop pretty quick. I'm about to drop my stop any second. I want to give this candle a chance. All right, stop is placed. And on this one, Let's do this. Limit buy. I keep doing the wrong thing. Tighten her up. Tighten her up to there. Again, I'm not playing around with this. If it's not going to deliver right this moment, I'm out. Because if you look at the 1 minute, what are we doing? We just wicked it and closed back in. I'm not trying to hold any longer than that. You know, I wanted to see a good spike down immediately, which is kind of what we're getting here. Again, scalping is definitely not for everybody. You got to be quick, in and out. Change your mind if you need to. It's okay taking break evens on scalps. So we missed it. See, this is what I wanted to see. It's okay that it happened, but this is the move that I wanted to see on the scalp that I was in. A quick flush. That's what I was expecting. And you don't always time it right. Like I said, timing is everything on scalping. You got to be at the very right moment. So again, what I'm looking for is if we can close this area, come back, retest it to continue. And if you notice, right, I didn't get FOMO and try to pile into this move because this kind of stuff can happen very easily. Again, it's better to miss the move than to be stuck in one that you wish you were not in. So the market likes to move in kind of these double impulses, right? So it's known as measured moves, double impulse, a bunch of different terminology you could use for it. You could use two drives, but the market loves to move in these double moves, these double impulses, right? Even here, got this move up, this move up, almost the same size, roughly. Nasdaq slippery, you never know. On ES, you saw me measuring these two moves, It's a double impulse move. After a double impulse or two moves in the same direction, and we don't continue, look for what? Look for a move in the opposite direction. On the 5 minute, this is what I'm seeing. And so what would I expect here? Well, we are below the EMA on the S, so we have that going against us for a long. But we just swept this low, this 5 minute candle, and we closed above the EMA. So what can we see? Possibly a tap into this 5 minute area and then a push higher. That would get us back into the 930s, 940s, possibly 950s. If we break down from this area, it should be pretty quick. A lot of these longs will bail out of their position, I would believe. And I miss trades all the time, so just part of it. You lose focus for a few seconds and you miss it. See, that was a missed opportunity right there for a scalp long. It'd be here. We take 15. Stop could be as close as this. It's good to sit out. So what that type of trade tells me is we're probably going to go a lot lower. Because if we were going to bounce, that's where we bounce from. Remember this area. this just a little bit higher. Possibly to the bottom of this green candle. It should happen quick. I want to see it either quick flush or we get stopped out quick. Okay, I don't want to see it get too much higher. I'm going to move my stop there. Okay, break even point. Drop it, break even. And then should slap pretty good. Put her there. Boom. So 2 W's, a break even. Would have been an L, but we didn't take it. So we got about minus commissions, probably like 2,100 in the bag. Pull it up and see. So 2254 is P&L. And this is why I wanted to move quick. You could get a bounce back into this area. If we're going to go to the top, we should, obviously, first step would be violating this high. It sounds elementary, right? Like, oh, if we're going to go to the top, we're going to take this high first. But you'd be surprised how many people are just trading and forget where they're at on the chart, right? So we got this low that we closed below this low, right? And the reason I'm mentioning this high is because we closed below this area that I wanted to see us close below for a continuation to the downside. So what does that tell me? If we don't get a continuation to the downside, either one of two things: I'm reading the market wrong, or we're not going to continue. We're going to go back up. I think I'm reading the market decently right now, so I'm gonna assume for the time being I don't want to take any more shorts. I want to be looking for a possible pullback to then bounce it up long. But before I do any of that, I'm looking for this high to get violated. If that high doesn't get violated, the opposite of what I'm thinking is correct. That will continue down. We just had a deeper pullback than I was anticipating off of this area. all I'm trying to do is trade with the people that have just trapped the other side. If the sellers are trapped, I want to be with the buyers. If the buyers are trapped, I want to be with the sellers. And it looks like, to me, that we have trapped some sellers that were holding for this area. And we could possibly come back up. Tap into this. All right, I've been here about an hour. I'm about to call it a day. Boy needs to shave. Looking rough. I am not a full-time trader. I am a part-time trader. I do have a full-time job. It's a 7-and-7 job. So what that means is you work 7 days, then you're off 7 days, and it's 12-hour shifts. So I work for an oil field company that works that 7-and-7 12-hour shift. So it gives me a lot of free time on my off days, but when I'm at work, there's really not much time to trade. And so, plus I have a pretty large family, and the only time I get to trade is when they're all at school and I'm off work. And so it's a blessing to be able to have trading and make extra income. And one day, who knows, in the future, I could just dedicate all my time to this. But for the time being, get your house paid off, get all your vehicles paid off, make sure all the kids' schooling is paid for, vacations, any kind of giving, charitable things that you like to be involved in. Use trading for that as well. It's a great part-time opportunity. You do have to put in some full-time effort, right? It's not part-time effort. But you need to put in some serious effort. But then you can gain the rewards and reap the rewards later on for the time and dedication that you've put into it. So this is my second day back. I did trade yesterday, and I think I'm going to upload that video of that pretty big winner. It was around 1,000 ticks. So I'll upload it. I think I'm going to do a voiceover, narrate it on what I was thinking, why I entered where I entered, why I decided to hold, that type of deal. But if you like this video, consider subscribing, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, maybe some things that you'd like to see me cover. All right, y'all. Peace.